And so later we kind of discovered, because one of the nice things that happened in our time, there were so many bad things happen in our time, but some wonderful things happen in our time. And one of them is that science caught up with art. The things that every musician knows, that music changes your body and your mind. Every musician knows that. Everyone who loves music knows that. Then we suddenly ended up with the scientific proofs. They arrived at this time. And so we can talk a little bit about the details of this. Traumatized children, their symptoms are that usually they have had some bad experience. They remember it frequently, often stops them from sleeping. They can also be very, very sluggish and depressed, or they can be very hyperactive, running around and knocking things over and destroying things. And there were many, many other physical symptoms of trauma for children, of these bad symptoms. We're talking about our world now. This is happening in Gaza, all sorts of places. We have this problem. And in Israel, many parts of the world, we have this problem. And one of the things is traumatized children have their heart rate faster than other children. The sympathetic division of the autonomic nervous system is high in tone and makes the heart go faster, 7 beats per minute faster than it should. Traumatized children have difficulty with breathing. Anybody who's been with knows this. Difficulties in controlling speech and breathing. They also have, as we said, difficulties with their movement. Either they don't move much or are very, very hyperactive. And also, traumatized children have problems with the hormones in their body. The stress hormones like cortisol. When trauma first comes, when a bad experience first comes to a child, this cortisol level goes sky high. But then something crazy happens. Then it goes low. And this is really bad, because in the body it is full of stress and full of the heart going faster, everything pumping, and the chemistry of the body can't support it. That's a horrible feeling. This is why trauma is such a horrible feeling. So why is music relevant? Well, music changes your heart. Music is very powerful in changing the rate of the heart. Later on, maybe we can do this. I can do an experiment with everybody if you want to see, not now, but we can do it if you don't believe me. It can change your heart rate, and it can help regulate it. Breathing. Music is fantastic for breathing for 2 reasons. Music communicates with the little neurons at the base of the brain that control breathing when we don't think about it. The medulla oblongata, for people who know their physiology. That controls it. And music has a very, very strong relationship with helping us to breathe automatically. But even more important, when we sing. When we live as human beings, 15% of our lungs we're using now, right? If we're working hard, 50, if we're lucky. One thing, 100%, singing. Breath control. So, with singing, we can help breath. So with my children in Bosnia, we would do this little song. Tashun tashun tanana palamachka stavana ogrebala hasana. I'm breathing every phrase. Yeah? Tashun tashun tanana. Okay, so next time. Tashun tashun tanana palamachka stavana ogrebala hasana. So we're building breathing, and this worked very, very well. Finally, music is very interactive with our stress hormones. We can change cortisol levels with music. This is good science, and we should use it. We made music to help ourselves. We made music to have love, joy, but we also made music to help ourselves. And so these are some of the aspects of the physical things. It went much further. I'm going to stop soon because this is getting too boring. Further, many more things with the brain. Through music, we have empathy. We learn to feel what other people feel. The origins of music go long before language. We know this now. We were musical before we spoke as human beings. We know this because of the nature of the brain and archaeology. And what did we do? Why did we use music? To communicate our state of body and mind and feelings one to another. Because we need to know that to survive. We need to be able to communicate our inner feelings. And music enabled us to do that. We still have it now. This early with mothers and children around the world. You've heard them. Every society uses this, exactly the same tempo, exactly the same melodic structures. We are built, music builds us and we build with music. So empathy, emotional expression, the ability to express yourself. If you've been traumatized, you don't want to speak. Talk about it. Why? Words often lie. No, let's just express our feelings directly. And we can relate to other people. We can gain trust. We can gain self-confidence. We can gain motivation. We learn the will to live and the will to make the world beautiful. We can do this for ourselves and learn to trust other people again. If somebody comes and sings to you, they mean you no harm. You know that. They sing, you know no harm at all. It's an act of willful, beautiful communication, one being to another. So many, many things. And finally, leading through to the way that as we change individuals, we can change communities and societies. And I'm sure later on this afternoon we will talk about music and reconciliation and conflict resolution. My final thought is this. I go around the world, lucky man, such a lucky man. Like Mark Antony, I share this philosophy. I'm such a lucky man. I go around the world and I see that everywhere on our planet there is a changed consciousness about music and community. Everywhere it's changing.